Hey, good morning. It's Saturday, November 27th. Thanks so much for being here this morning. I'm going to continue looking at Psalm 98. And the thought this morning is about the announcement of the Advent, the coming of Jesus Christ. Sometimes we make a mistake, a huge mistake, in thinking this is something we can confine to religion or confine to the church, or that people somehow have the ability to cancel the impact of the Advent. But Christmas, the coming of Christ, is not something that can be confined, because God announced it to the entire universe. He ripped open the skies to have his mighty host of angels proclaim his glory and goodness. Indeed, we learn from Romans that the entire created order has been longing for the person of Jesus Christ. He cannot be confined to those things. In Psalm 98, the second portion we're looking at, first portion talks just about the great victory that God has won in the coming of Christ. And then notice the language here. Shout to the Lord, all the earth. Break out in praise and sing for joy. Sing your praise to the Lord with the harp and the melodious song, with trumpets and the sound of the ram's horn. Make a joyful symphony before the Lord the King. The word joyful symphony here is what I'm using in the title for the thumbnail this morning for this talk. And it's the same word as shout in verse 4. It says make a joyful symphony in the New Living Translation, because they rightly figured out there's this crescendo of energy here. So now it's just a shout, not just a shout, it's a joyful symphony to God. I'm going to play some music for you, a collaboration by Sharon Gerber and Steve Iger about Joy to the World. Listen to what they're doing with it. This is phenomenal. You know, the piano and cello, Joy to the World. Notice the joyfulness, the symphonic sounds that we're hearing. The Lord has announced his victory, and he has revealed his righteousness to every nation. See, we can't confine this to our church setting. We can't confine this to our own little world. Jesus, his coming, his advent, is what this whole business of the planet Earth, indeed, the entire creation, the universe, has been waiting, longing for this. Everything's not made right yet, but it won't be made right apart from this impact of Christ. So this joyous sound here, this joyous symphony that these two musicians are creating behind me, give us some sense of the power of Christ. This is a joyous thing. Jesus has come. The Advent is worth celebrating, not the way the world celebrates it. They've got it wrong in many areas. They've copied the wrong things, but it's just a copy of the joy of what's happening with Christ. We may not know the exact date of Christmas. What we know is that it came. Jesus came. The Advent is here. The prophecies were fulfilled. We know it was recorded for us. The time was recorded for us. We know it for a certainty because God meant it for us to know it. That needs to bring about to us joy, which is why I believe this message should not be confined to a period of time between Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. It needs to be exploding in our hearts all year long. The fact that Jesus rules, we need to be shouting about it. Shout to the Lord, all the earth. He's not talking to the church. Talk about the earth. And we'll see in a minute, and we'll see that tonight, it includes the whole created order. His right hand has won a mighty victory. We need to break out and praise and sing for joy. Let's hear what's happening here. We need to sing for joy. Even a little Bach thrown in. Love it. Sing your praise to the Lord with the harp and the melodious song, the strings instruments. These things are playing before us. What a beautiful testimony. Make a joyful symphony to the Lord. Don't restrict your praise to this little window of time we have here. Don't restrict it to presents and trees and lights. Let those things be symbols of the glorious majesty of God laid out for us. What a beautiful, beautiful thing. How powerful it is. The Lord has done this. We are celebrating the advent of Christ, the most glorious event in all of our history. Only thing left is when he returns. May God bless you right now, not with something confined to Christmas celebration that the world has, but to the beautiful celebration that is ours in Christ Jesus, because God has won a mighty victory. And let's join in that joyful symphony that brings honor to Christ every moment of our life. Thanks so much for being here today, and Lord willing, we'll see you tonight. Bye-bye.